everybody, it's me, Shaw360, and today was the day that the Grammy nominations were read, and it was it was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. So let's just get into it. I know y'all come to talk with me about K-pop, so let me just go ahead and dive in head first. BTS got a Grammy nomination this year. Now, to be clear, this is not the first Grammy nomination for BTS. They actually got a Grammy nomination 2 years ago for the packaging for one of the Love Yourselves. I can't remember if it was Love Yourself Her or Love Yourself Tear. I want to say it was Tear, but I could be wrong. But this is their second Grammy nomination in total. This is their first nomination for an actual song of theirs, not packaging. And it was for Dynamite. And it was Best Pop Group Performance. Pop Duo / Group Performance that they're nominated for. And I have to say, I was glad to see them nominated, period. Because it didn't make any sense to me that BTS wouldn't be nominated for something. Because, I mean, if you look at the album sales, if you look at the Billboard charts, if you look at just the zeitgeist, it makes sense for BTS to be nominated. What surprised me is that they only got nominated in one category, and I'll tell you why. I think that pop duo / group performance is a perfect category for them to be nominated in because it's a great song for that nomination. It is a song that was really popular in America. It had English, which a lot of the Grammy people really prefer when it comes to nominating for the mainstream categories. And it's a really peppy, bright song. So, pop duo group, it is a pop song. So, again, great category for this song to be in. But what I don't understand, and somebody will have to enlighten me, why wasn't BTS nominated for any of the World Music Awards? And I've asked this question before in the past because it makes sense to me. Really and truly, it makes sense for K-pop itself as a genre to dominate the world album charts because most of the biggest world albums came from Korea. Pretty much all of them. If you were to run down the top 10 of like world album charts, it's Korean titles. So I don't understand why BTS would not have been nominated for that. And I know that somebody said maybe it was because they're promoted by an American label, Created in America. I get what you're saying. However, Seven, Map of the Soul 7, could have been nominated for World Album because it was published here in the States. It had a US print, it had a Korean press, but it had a US press. Also, Love Yourself was nominated for packaging, so obviously it doesn't have to necessarily be an American label thing. So world album makes sense. It is the top selling world album. So BTS should have been there, Blackpink should have been there, maybe NCT or Super One or Super M, but not saying, but absolutely. Why wouldn't it have been there? Also, just to kind of ring the K-pop bell for another place where it would have been cool to see it, for best dance performance, I would have liked to see Sour Candy with Lady Gaga and Blackpink. I realized that Rain on Me and what's the other song? What is the other lead single from the Gaga album? Stupid Love. I realized that those were the hits. But a lot of people who are on like the club scene, they'll tell you Sour Candy was that girl. So I would have liked to have seen Sour Candy get that nomination, but you know, YG, they can't do right. But yeah, I think that as great as it is to see BTS get this nomination and to see them happy reacting to it on their Twitter and everything else. They gave us 2 camera angles. That was interesting. I kind of feel like V. If you look at his reaction on the video, he's like, like it's not really exciting him. And I guess it's because it's like, this feels like crumbs. This feels like this number right here. Now, for those of us who like groups that didn't get nominations, it's like, well, at least you got one, right? But again, it just feels like crumbs, and it feels like there were other categories. Best pop song would have been a good one. Like, I just feel like there's more categories that BTS could have been nominated in. Not that they needed to be nominated for every single award. I'm not delusional like that. I'm just saying, like, there's at least 2 more categories they would have been easily eligible for. Hey, Sarah! But
like progressive R&B.
As much as we may complain about BTS not getting more than the 1 nomination, we've got to talk about the hugest elephant in the room. The Weeknd. The Weeknd did not get nominated
I only call you when it's hot
for anything at this year's Grammys. I mean, you know, I've said it before on my channel. I'll say it again. I am a Blinding Lights stan. Like, Blinding Lights is that song. As far as I'm concerned, 2020, Blinding Lights was a cultural reset. Like, after The Weeknd did that, that's when even K-pop said, okay, we're doing 80s now. Like, Blinding Lights was that song. Blinding Lights was that movement. People are getting mad about the fact that BTS didn't get more nominations, but The Weeknd got nothing. Didn't get record, album, pop, R&B, nothing. I need someone to explain that. As of today, Blinding Lights is the song that has spent the longest amount of time in the Billboard Top 10 in history. It has been on the Billboard Top 10 for 40 weeks. 40 weeks.
By the way, that's like more than 3/4 of a year.
Basically, Blinding Lights owned 2020. And the fact that that song, not even the whole album, that song didn't get a single nomination for anything? My God. Like, what are we doing?
More than half the year it was on the charts.
Yeah, I remember when coronavirus came out. That song had come out like right before all the coronavirus shutdowns. And I was driving Stephanie to go meet up with her dad for spring break. And we were driving because the airports were all like, you were not doing anything with the airports. And I remember hearing that song at least 3 or 4 times during that drive. And just being like, this is it. This is the song. I mean, I'm going to have to assume that The Weeknd decided not to put his name in for consideration. Like, I have to assume that his record label said, we are not going to campaign because you don't want it. Because I feel like if he did campaign to be considered, it should have happened. It should have happened right here, right now. It should have happened. This is the biggest travesty of the year. Like, there's a lot of things that got overlooked that should have done better. This is the biggest upset of the year. This is bigger than Dua Lipa being iced out of the MTV Awards. Because Dua Lipa didn't get nominated for the VMAs. And everybody was like, I can't believe this because Don't Stop was such a gig.
Don't start now.
Don't start now. But, yeah, Dua Lipa at least got nominated for Grammys. The Weeknd got none. None at all.
Not a single one.
Not a video, not a packaging, not a pop song, record, album, nothing.
And this man has been doing it up this whole year.
This is his best work. I'm just going to say that right now. I really like The Hills Have Eyes. That is probably my second favorite Weeknd song. I have the Balloons album. Like, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Like, there's got to be a personal vendetta. He must have done something to somebody, and everyone just agreed, we're going to pretend like The Weeknd doesn't exist.
Maybe, if Bella Hadid and The Weeknd, like, broke up a little bit, maybe Bella Hadid, as, like, a revenge thing, went to someone from the Grammys and was like, I don't like Abel right now.
It's got to be something, because Justin Bieber got nominated for Yummy. And no shade, but on a lyrical standpoint, Girl, you got that yummy,
That
yummy,
song is
yummy,
trash.
yummy. Say the word on my way. Yeah, babe, yeah, babe, yeah, babe. Anytime, anything.
That song is trash.
Not only did Justin Bieber get nominated, your man had the nerve to complain that he didn't get nominated for R&B album because he made an R&B album. And not that he dislikes the fact that you nominated him for a pop song, but he didn't make a pop song. He made an R&B album. You should be able to tell by the melody. You should be able to tell by the drums. You should be able to tell by the way that I sing that I made an R&B album.
Oh no.
Fuck out of here, Justin. Fuck out of here. Let me tell you guys why Justin Bieber wanted to be nominated for R&B album instead of pop album.
Lord. Oh.
He wanted to be nominated for R&B album because he felt like losing for best R&B album would be okay because he could say, oh, well, it's my first time being nominated in the category and I was up against some really heavy hitters, some really phenomenal artists. It was a tough category. I'm honored to be nominated there. And he could swing the narrative to be, I'm an artist, and in order to be able to be nominated for the R&B category, you have to be an artiste. You can't just be a pop star. So that is what it was. Like, this is the long game plan. This is the long game plan for those of you who don't know. Justin Bieber came into the industry as a pop artist. He tried, I would say what? It's been now 6 or 7 years perhaps. He tried when he had his whole like bad boy moment right before Purpose came out. He tried to like relaunch himself as a R&B singer. But when Purpose came out, he became pop because Purpose was so very big. And I think if Yummy had done better, like if Yummy had hit #1 and it stayed on the charts a really long time, and if all the other singles had stayed on the charts for a really long time and it had massive success, I have no doubt he wouldn't have complained about pop because he would have been like, okay, well, this was a popular song. It was #1 on the charts. It stayed in the pop zeitgeist, so people definitely should associate it with pop. But the fact that Yummy didn't do that great, the album didn't do that great, the other singles haven't done that great, I think he's trying to swing it back to, I'm not a pop star, I'm an R&B singer. Because in his mind, and in the minds of other people, if you're an R&B album artist, you don't have to chart well. But if you're a pop star, if you're a Lady Gaga, a Rihanna, a Beyonce, you are expected to chart through the moon. You are expected to sell millions of streams and millions of downloads. And if you don't, you're considered a flop. So him complaining about not making R&B category has nothing to do with the fact that he like legitimately feels like he should be in the same category as Chloe and Halle. That's not the belief. It's because he needs to rebrand himself. That way he can be like, I don't care about record sales. I don't care about big tours. I just care about my art, man. I'm in here making art. I'm one of the few white boys who's making art right now. That's what he's trying to do. And it's offensive. Frankly, it's offensive. It's offensive because the people who get nominated for Best R&B Album, that is sometimes the only category that they get acknowledgement in. So you're really trying to steal the spot from, most of the time, a person of color who will only be recognized in this category. So yeah, I'm not best pleased with that either. So Diana Sam says he wants to be taken more seriously as an artist. He's been trying to do that for so long. One time he stated he wanted his concert to be like an Adele concert, stadium is silent and listening to the music. It's not going to happen. He needs to realize that. Oh, absolutely. Listen, you have to pick a side, Justin. You can't, on the one hand, do a complete media blitz trying to beg your fans to make you #1, and then turn around and act like you don't care about number one status, you don't care about your chart position, you don't care about being thought of as a pop artist. You got to pick one or the other. You cannot do both. You one or the other. Like, honestly, really and truly, Beyonce is an R&B artist. If you look at Beyonce's catalog, if you look at the kind of music she does, especially if you're going off of Justin Bieber's logic, Beyonce is an R&B artist by every stretch of the imagination. But when people think of pop music and they think of some of the best people to ever make pop music, people still think about Beyonce in that conversation, because she is something more than any particular genre. So that's why she comes under pop, because she's of every genre, honestly. And so being pop not only makes it to where you are considered bigger than maybe the one particular genre you actually sing in, you're considered a part of like the cultural landscape at that point. And so him begging for an R&B nomination or saying he deserves it is him trying to, again, step back, change the narrative, and change the benchmarks for himself. To be able to tell himself, if I don't do big sales, it's okay because I don't have to. I'm probably the best selling R&B artist out there right now. So yeah, try that game again somewhere else, Justin. I'm grown. Pink Bun Bun says, Blinding Lights made me start listening to him. Plus, it plays so much and his impact is crazy. I agree. Like, Blinding Lights still plays now. It still plays now. It still sounds great. It is the only song that I've heard on repeat this year that I'm not tired of. It's brilliant. It's fucking brilliant, man. It's great. Speaking of Beyonce, did you know that Beyonce has the most nominations of anybody else for the Grammys this year? And she didn't even put out an album. Oh man, Beyonce is nominated for so many awards. Now, to be fair, Beyonce is, she did put out a song and a musical film this year. She put out the Black is King musical film on Disney, and she put out a song called The Black Parade, which was kind of a Black empowerment song around the time of all the George Floyd protests and stuff. But a lot of her nominations come from her appearing on the remix to Savage with Megan Thee Stallion. So kudos to you, Beyonce. A star stays a star. When you hear Blinding Lights, I'm always reminded of Maniac. Oh yeah. Like, she's a maniac, maniac. A lot of y'all won't know that song, but it's Michael Cimbello. Maniac. There you go. But yeah, I'm surprised. Rina Sawayama didn't get nominated for Best New Artist, which was surprising because Kaytranada did. And that's no shade on Kaytranada, by the way. Kaytranada is an amazing group. If you've never listened to Kaytranada, I highly, highly recommend. They do a lot of stuff with Kali Uchis. They do a lot of stuff with, like, a lot of the Odd Future Wolfgang pack. Yeah, like, they're a kind of a neo soul progressive R&B dance collective, I guess is the best way to put it. I think they're more producers than actual singers. But Kaytranada has been around for years. They've been doing music for years. I'm really surprised that they got nominated for Best New Artist this year because, again, like I said, they've been around for years. But Best New Artist this year is super weird. I'm going to pull it up. Give me just a minute. I'm going to go ahead and pull up all the nominations just so that when we're talking about this, I'm not talking out of my ass because I tend to do a lot of that. So it'd be nice if I knew what the hell I was talking about sometimes. Girl, watch your feet.
Sorry,
I'm just pulling up the list now. It won't take long. So we're just going to go from the top and work our way down, fellas. Ooh, gosh. This thing is bright. This is not even, this right here is not even my laptop. This is my work laptop. So really I need to be careful. So, record of the year. A lot of people had a lot of problems with record of the year, to be honest, because there's one record this year that is listed that didn't even come out in the time. Well, I take that back. Record of the Year has a song by Black Pumas that apparently came out on the original edition of their album, but I guess was included in the repackage. So it was an issue. So this year, Record of the Year, Black Parade by Beyonce, Colors by Black Pumas, Rockstar from The Baby featuring Roddy Ricch, Say So, Doja Cat, Everything I Wanted, Billie Eilish, Don't Start Now, Dua Lipa, Circles by Post Malone, and Savage, Megan Thee Stallion featuring Beyonce. So clearly the remix. Yeah, I feel like for record of the year, you could have absolutely thrown a Dynamite in there. It would have worked. You absolutely should have had Blinding Lights here. There's just no way around it. It should have been here. It should have been here. So if I had to put my money on a song to win, as much as I would love to see Savage win, I think it's going to either be Everything I Wanted or Say So. Because Billie Eilish cleaned up on the last Grammys, so I wouldn't be surprised if she wins for Record of the Year this year because people really like her. But also, Say So was like huge. Huge. Album of the Year. We have Chilombo by Jhené Aiko. We have Black Pumas Deluxe Edition. The deluxe edition, because there was another edition that came out before. Everyday Life by Coldplay. Who the fuck is checking for Coldplay in 2020? DeJesse Volume 3 by Jacob Collier. Or Jesse, I guess. Women in Music by Haim. Future Nostalgia by Dua Lipa. Hollywood's Bleeding by Post Malone. And Folklore by Taylor Swift. I am certain that the Grammys want to give this award to Taylor Swift because she is a Grammy darling and she wins all the time. After Hours could have replaced Coldplay. I can't even think of a single song from this Coldplay album. So, look, the fuck? Why? Why? Was Coldplay even expecting to be nominated here? So, absolutely, you could have put The Weeknd there for After Hours. I think it's going to be Folklore, but I would be really excited if it was Haim, just because I like them a lot. And Future Nostalgia would be really cool because I think it would be kind of a fuck you to MTV if she won the Grammy but didn't win a VMA nomination at all. That'd be great. Okay, so let's go to Song of the Year. Again, Blinding Lights, Dynamite could have easily been in this category. Song of the Year, Black Parade, The Box, Cardigan, Circles, Don't Start Now, Everything I Wanted, I Can't Breathe, and If the World Was Ending. To be honest here, this is really tough because I feel like they're going to go towards Cardigan by Taylor Swift. But I think in an upset to everybody, they're going to choose I Can't Breathe because of everything that happened with like George Floyd and trying to make a political statement. So I could really see it being I Can't Breathe or possibly Black Parade by Beyonce. Just as a political vote. Just as a political vote. Personally, I would like Don't Start Now. That'd be amazing. Okay, Best New Artist. The category nominations are Ingrid Andress, Phoebe Bridgers, Chica, who is amazing. If you never heard Chica, check her out. She has a Tiny Desk concert that's really, really beautiful. Noah Cyrus, D Smoke, Doja Cat, Kaytranada, and Meg Thee Stallion. Listen, I have a lot of favorites in this category. I would love a Meg Thee Stallion win just to see her fall apart on stage. I would love to see Chica win just because she's been so underrated all year that this would be massive for her to get that kind of exposure. And Doja Cat really put in the work. So if she got it, it's not just based on one song she's done this year. It's based on a lot of things. So this is Best New Artist. But I think that Doja Cat probably has the best chance in this category. I really, really, really need to know how Noah Cyrus, Miley Cyrus's younger sister, ended up getting a Best New Artist. I have a 15-year-old in my house. I'm 41. Between the two of us, we couldn't figure that one out at all. But like Doja Cat, I feel like in terms of visibility, appearances on award shows, singles, and just being like super multi-talented. If she won, I would not be mad, but I would love to see a Chica or a Meg the Stallion get it, or even Kaytranada would be cool, but I don't think that Kaytranada deserves it, only because, like I said, they've been out forever. Next, we're moving on to pop. So, pop solo performance, this is the one that The Weeknd should have swept. He should have owned this one. Best pop solo performance was Yummy by Justin Bieber, Say So by Doja Cat, Everything I Wanted, Billie Eilish, Don't Start Now, Dua Lipa, Watermelon Sugar, Harry Styles, and Cardigan by Taylor Swift. Stephanie says she thinks that Watermelon Sugar ought to get it, which I'm not mad at. I can agree. I also think that Say So would be great, just because Doja Cat does so much in that song. She sings and she raps, and she's doing all her own backing vocals, so like, that's an amazing pop performance. That deserves to be rewarded, but I think it's going to be Harry Styles. I really think it is, just because I think that the Academy is looking to award Harry Styles now that he is firmly departed from his association with One Direction. Like, he'll always be a member of One Direction. That's never going to change. But, like, people don't necessarily think of that the first thing when they think of Harry Styles. When they first think of Harry Styles, they kind of think, like, kind of a weirdo, but also super sexy. So, yeah, I think it's probably going to be him. By the way, Japanese version Say So is superior to me. I don't know if I'm the only one. It is very cute. The little girl that does it, she's Indonesian, I think. She does a really cute job with that. Okay, let's go down. Next, we have Best Pop Duo Group Performance, which is a tough category. It is a really tough category. So we have One Day featuring J Balvin, Dua Lipa, Bad Bunny, and Tiny, I guess is how you pronounce it. Intentions featuring Justin Bieber and Quavo. Dynamite by BTS. Rain on Me, Lady Gaga with Ariana Grande. And Exile, Taylor Swift featuring Bon Iver. So, for those of you who don't know, the Academy like practically jizzes in their pants every time they see Taylor Swift, and they love Bon Iver. So, I would not be surprised if they got it. But if it's not Dynamite who wins, it's gotta be Rain on Me. I mean, it's just, I'd rather be dry, but at least on the live. Rain on me, me. I just love that song. Even though I do like One Day by J Balvin. I listen to that song a lot in the car. I really super enjoy that. And I love Bad Bunny. And I love Dua Lipa. So, like, it'd be a great win for all three of them. But, man, if they gave me the song I preferred, I love Rain on Me. I really, really do. Diana Sam says, I predict legendary status for Harry Styles in the future. He's one of those artists that will keep making music until he's 80, sort of like Paul McCartney after leaving the Beatles. All right, so let's go to, I agree, Harry Styles is really on his way up. I didn't like the first album that he did, but this one has got a lot going for it. Okay, next, Best Traditional Pop Vocal Album. You guys aren't going to care about this, but it's Renee Zellweger is nominated in this category, which, okay. But yeah, it's Renee Zellweger with Judy, Rufus Wainwright with Unfollow the Rules, James Taylor, American Standard, Harry Connick Jr., True Love, Blue Umbrella, Burt Bacharach. I don't care. Anybody can win this one. Okay, Best Pop Vocal Album. For albums containing at least 51% playing time of new pop vocal recordings. Category nominees: Changes by Justin Bieber, Chromatica Lady Gaga, Future Nostalgia Dua Lipa, Fine Line Harry Styles, Folklore Taylor Swift. I'm not going to lie to you here. I lean very heavy in Dua Lipa's favor because I felt like Future Nostalgia sounded really, really great. It had a lot of really good stuff on it. I kind of want Chromatica to win this thing, man. I just love the fact that it's such a damn dance album, but it didn't get nominated in the dance categories. But when you listen to it, it is a dance album. The song Replay, I don't talk enough about that song. Sour Candy is a great song. Rain on Me is a great song. Stupid Love's a great song. Replay, it sounds like what discos used to sound like. It is so freaking nostalgic. that it just, my heart does this when I listen to it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember that sound. So we'll see. Yeah, I hope that Future Nostalgia wins something. These are some really tough categories. So, like, I don't know where she'll win, but I feel like Lady Gaga deserves at least a nod for Chromatica because Chromatica was such a great pop dance. Like, no one was really doing it like her. I can't think of another. People were in very similar lanes this year, but not the same lane. Okay, dance electronic music. Best dance recording for solo, duo, group, or collaborative performances. On My Mind by Diplo and Sidepiece. My High by Disclosure featuring Amine and Slow Tie. The Difference by Flume featuring Toro y Moi. Both of Us, Jada G. And 10% Kaytranada featuring Kali Uchis. I'm going to go with Kaytranada on this one. I really, really like Kaytranada, even though I wouldn't mind seeing a win by Disclosure because I like Amine a lot. And Flume featuring Tori Imwa would be cool, but I think I need Kaytranada to win this. That way Kali Uchis wins. So that's my vote for that. Best Dance Electronic Album. The nominations are Kick I or Kick One by Arca, Planets Mad by Bauer, Energy by Disclosure, Bubba by Kaytranada, and Good Faith by Madeon, I think is how you pronounce it. Can't say I've listened to any of these albums, but just based on name alone, I kind of want Bubba to win because that sounds funny to me. I like Disclosure a lot, but their albums are kind of one note, so I wouldn't be surprised if they don't win. I've heard a lot of great things about Arca. But yeah, I think it might be Bubba. Yes, we love Kali Uchis in this house, especially Stephanie. All right, contemporary instrumental music. The nominations are Axiom by Christian Scott, Atunde Adjua, Chronology of a Dream, Live at the Village Vanguard by John Batiste, Take the Stars by Black Violin, Americana by Gregory Moret, Romain Collin and Bill Frisell, and Live at the Royal Albert Hall by Snarky Puppy. Already, it's got to be Live at the Royal Albert Hall by Snarky Puppy. If you've never heard Live at the Albert Hall, that's okay. You ain't got to listen to it. But there is a performance by Layla Hathaway during that album that is just mind-blowing. She does this like Tibetan double singing thing during one of her runs, and it's like two voices coming out of her throat at the same time.
I love when they do.
It's magical. Like, it's like, how do you do that?
What song?
It's a song by Snarky Puppy from their Live at the Royal Albert Hall album, but it's featuring Layla Hathaway, and it's really a cool thing if you've never heard it before. Best rock performance is a weird category because it's not rock groups at all. Best rock performance, Shamika by Fiona Apple, Knocked by Big Thief, Kyoto by Phoebe Bridgers,
I love that song.
The Steps by Haim,
Yeah.
Stay High by Brittany Howard, and Daylight by Grace Potter. Who do you want to win, Steph?
Kyoto, Phoebe Bridgers.
And I'm going to say that I would like to see Brittany Howard win just because I think that she's an amazing woman to look at. She's just really breathtaking to watch. She has one of the most wide open mouths I've ever seen. Metal performance. This is an interesting category because there's one person nominated here that I would have never expected. Bum Rush by Body Count, Underneath by Code Orange, In Between by In This Moment, Executioner's Tax, Swing of the Axe by Power Trip, and Blood Money by Poppy. Yes, YouTube Poppy, nominated for Best Metal Performance.
She makes metal now.
I just want to see it. I have nothing against her. I'm not saying that she can't do it. I just want to see her win because I want to see what she's going to look like when she gets on the stage. Like, is it going to be some more performance art that we're going to see, or is she going to be like an actual human being when she gets on the stage? But yeah, Poppy. YouTube's Poppy, nominated for Best Metal Performance.
Which, by the way, I hate Titanic Sinclair. He can get the smoke all day, every day.
But still, wow.
I know.
I'm guessing no rock metal fans watch the Grammys. Who knows? Okay, Best Rock Song. Kyoto by Phoebe Bridgers.
I love that song. Everybody, if you've not listened to Kyoto by Phoebe Bridgers, go listen to Kyoto by Phoebe Bridgers. It's a great song.
Lost in Yesterday by Tame Impala.
That's a good song too! Wait! But if he was going to get nominated for something, why not Borderline?
I don't know.
Because Borderline was good too. So is Posthumous Forgiveness. That whole album
those all
was
this
really good.
Okay, well, whatever.
Yeah.
Not by Big Thief, Shamika by Fiona Apple, and Stay High by Brittany Howard. I'm gonna go for Tame Impala because I love saying Tame Impala.
But it's Tame Impala.
Anytime
Did
anybody
he get nominated for anything when he released Currents?
I don't know. I don't follow his career like that, baby. Next, we have Best Rock Album. A Hero's Death by Fontaines DC.
Never heard of that.
Kiwanuka by Michael Kiwanuka.
Mm-hmm.
Daylight by Grace Potter.
Mm-hmm.
Sound and Fury by Sturgill Simpson.
Mm-hmm.
And The New Abnormal by The Strokes.
You already know who I want to win.
Stephanie wants The Strokes to win.
Yes, I do! Yes, I do! Yes, I do! I'm sorry.
This is my life, y'all. Next we have Best Alternative Music Album, Fetch the Bolt Cutters, Fiona Apple, Beck's Hyperspace, Punisher by Phoebe Bridgers.
Yes! Sorry.
Jamie by Brittany Howard, and The Slow Rush by Tame Impala.
Oh! I either want The Slow Rush or Punisher to win.
I want Fiona Apple to win because I like her from the old days. Okay.
But you didn't like Fetch the Bolt Cutters.
I did not, but I like her.
And I like Phoebe! But I also like Tame Impala.
Okay. Now let's get to some music I do know. Best R&B Performance. Lightning and Thunder, Jhené Aiko featuring John Legend. Black Parade, Beyonce. All I Need, Jacob Collier featuring Mahalia and Ty Dolla $ign. Goat Head by Brittany Howard. And See Me by Emily King. I'm going to need this to be Beyonce's category for Best R&B Performance. Don't get me wrong, I really like Jhené Aiko a lot, and Brittany Howard has an amazing voice. I just want Beyonce to win this one. Sorry, I'm biased.
She has to win something.
Next, Best Traditional R&B Performance. We have Sit On Down, The Baylor Project featuring Gene Baylor and Marcus Baylor. Wonder What She Thinks of Me by Chloe and Halle.
That's a great song.
Let Me Go by Michael Kilgore. Anything for You by Lettucey. And Distance by Yebba. We want Yebba to win. I mean, don't get me wrong. Chloe and Halle, we love you very much. We're very proud of everything you're doing. Lettucey, you sing your face off. I really need Yebba to win. I need Yebba to win because I just love her. If you've never listened to Yebba, she has a song called My Mind where she...
I'm about to lose my mind.
I mean, when we try to do it, it sounds ridiculous.
Yeah.
If you listen to her do it, she is something special. Best R&B song, Better Than I Imagine, Robert Glasper featuring Michelle Ndegeocello and Her. Black Parade, Beyonce. Collide, Tiana Major 9 and Earth Gang. Do It, Chloe and Halle.
Yes.
And Slow Down, Skip, Marley and Her. I feel like Robert Glasper is going to get this, but if the Academy is smart, they'll give this one to Chloe and Halle. I mean, I definitely see where Beyonce could have this one. Better Than I Imagine is a great song, actually. We listened to it today, like this morning. It's a really good song, but I think that Chloe and Halle need to have this one. Next, Best Progressive R&B Album. This is a hard category. A lot of really good stuff here. Chilombo by Jhené Aiko. Ungodly Hour, Chloe and Halle. Free Nationals. Fuck Your Feelings by Robert Glasper. It Is What It Is by Thundercat.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, Thundercat shouldn't have been nominated for Best Progressive R&B Album. He should have been nominated for Jazz, but that's a whole nother conversation that the Academy doesn't want to have. But Dragon Ball Durag is brilliant.
Standing next to you, baby girl, how do I look at my do-rag? Would you tell me the truth? Stay with me and love me through the night. Endlessly, I'ma keep on all my chains when I'm making love to you.
I may be covered in cat hair, but I still smell good. So, I mean, we want Thundercat to win, but Ungodly Hour would be great as well. Either one would be fine. But we love Thundercat in this house. He's our favorite. Ever since them changes, we have loved Thundercat. Best R&B album. Happy to Be Here, Aunt Clemens. Take Time by Giveon. To Feel Loved, Luke James. Bigger Love, John Legend. And All Rise, Gregory Porter. I want Luke James to win. Because he's fine. I'm being completely biased here. I have no other argument to give you other than Luke James looks edible. I want him to win. Just so I can see him get on the Grammy stage in a beautiful suit and just shine under the lights.
Mom said she likes her chocolate mint.
Yes, I do. Best rap performance. Another one that's really tough. Big Sean for Deep Reverence. Bop by DaBaby. What's Poppin' by Jack Harlow. The Bigger Picture by Lil Baby. Savage, Megan Thee Stallion featuring Beyonce. And Dior by Pop Smoke. Listen,
I love Dior.
This was one of those ones where we were in the house discussing it and we're like, this is the battle of the RIPs. Because Deep Reverence is Big Sean featuring Nipsey Hussle. Mm-hmm. Dior's Pop Smoke. Nipsey Hussle and Pop Smoke are both gone now. Nipsey Hussle died a little over a year ago. Pop Smoke was killed this year. And so I feel like if rappers are voting for this category, it's going to be Pop Smoke. But if we're voting based on the song that I feel was a really good performance, I would go for Bop by DaBaby. I liked Savage too, don't get me wrong. Savage was great, but I really liked the rapping of DaBaby on Bop.
I need some with some bopping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey. Okay, best melodic rap performance. This is one of the new categories. Rockstar by DaBaby featuring Roddy Ricch. Laugh Now, Cry Later, Drake featuring Lil Durk. Lockdown by Anderson .Paak. The Box by Roddy Ricch. And Highest in the Room, Travis Scott. The Box ought to win. There's no debate about this one. It should be The Box. The Box was that bitch. Like, every day for almost 3 months, every time I took Stephanie to school in the morning, The Box played on the radio.
Even though if the Grammys had taste, they'd pick Highest in the Room.
Highest in the Room is a great song. I enjoy the video for Laugh Now, Cry Later more than I like the song. But I think that The Box is the rightful winner of this category. Yeah. Best rap song. The Bigger Picture by Lil Baby. The Box by Roddy Ricch. Laugh Now, Cry Later, Drake featuring Lil Durk. Rockstar, DaBaby featuring Roddy Ricch. Savage, Megan Thee Stallion featuring Beyonce. Best rap song, I would love to see Savage win on that, but I think that Rockstar has a really good chance with that one. Even though it's up against The Box, and I still feel like The Box is great, I feel like Rockstar has a really good chance in this one. Also, back to best melodic rap performance. No, not best melodic. Back to best rap performance, period. If Meg doesn't win that category, that's fine. I just can't have Jack Harlow win. And it's not anything against Jack Harlow. It's not because he's white. It's because the remix to What's Poppin' features Tory Lanez. I can't have him have that victory over Megan. We can't let that happen. So, there you go. I'm being super fucking biased, but fuck that guy. Best rap album. These were bad choices for best rap album. I'm just going to say that up front. These choices for best rap album do not at all relate to what I think most young people are listening to when they're listening to rap albums. The choices are Black Habits by D Smoke, Alfredo by Freddie Gibbs and the Alchemist, A Written Testimony by Jay Electronica, King's Disease by Nas, The Allegory by Royce da 5'9", Run the Jewels should have been here. Run the Jewels should have been here. But they're not. But yeah, these were all terrible choices. Every single one of them. Not terrible like they're bad albums. Like they just aren't what people are talking about if they are a more than casual fan of rap, but not like an old school hip hop head. So that's my argument for that. Country, I don't know much country, so I'm not even going to read any of these.
Did Casey get one?
No, because I don't think she had anything this year.
Darn. I think she did have one.
What she had this year?
At least she was featured on a song.
The only song I know on here is The Bones by Maren Morris.
That should win.
That was for Best Country Song.
That should win.
For Best Country Album, Ingrid Andress is nominated there, and she's nominated for Best New Artist, so probably people really like that one. But yeah, none of these are ones I know. Best New Age Album, I have no idea. Don't ask me. Jazz, I don't know a lot of these people. Like, I know Chuck Coria. I know Axiom. I know Joshua Redman, but that's really it. Yeah, don't know. Best Jazz Instrumental. Same people, Chuck Coria, Redman. Best Large Jazz Ensemble Album. Couldn't tell you. Best Latin Jazz. Don't really know any of those people. Best Gospel Contemporary Christian Music. I don't listen to as much gospel as I used to. I feel really bad about that. This would normally be a category where I'd have an opinion. I can't say so this time. Same thing with Best Contemporary Christian Music. I don't listen to this kind of stuff. If I saw the word Hillsong, I would go there probably. I think probably Sunday Morning by Lecrae featuring Kirk Franklin will win because that was really popular. I actually remember the title of that song more than the sound of the song. Best Gospel Album, Gospel According to PJ by PJ Morton. It's going to be either him or Kiera by Kiera Sheard because both of those I heard a lot of people talking about. And a lot of people outside of gospel talked about PJ Morton's album, so I could see that one winning. Best Contemporary Christian Music Album. I don't know any of those people. Oh, whoa! Hold the fucking phone. That's a... Best Contemporary Christian Music Album. Let me read off the nominees. Run to the Father by Cody Carnes. All of My Best Friends by Hillsong Young and Free. Holy Water by We the Kingdom. Citizen of Heaven by Taryn Wells. Jesus is King by Kanye West. I don't care who wins in this category. I don't want Kanye West to win in this category. I don't think that I don't feel like Jesus is King was a contemporary Christian album. I feel like it was a marketing strategy. It didn't have what I would feel is the intent that a Christian album should have. But watch him win. Watch him win. Best Roots Gospel Album. Don't really know a lot of these groups. Best Latin Pop or Urban Album. This is a spicy category, y'all. So they've got YHL QMD LG by Bad Bunny. They have Por Primera Vez by Camilo. They have Mesa para Dos by Connie Garcia. Pausa by Ricky Martin. And then they have 3:33 by Debbie Nova. I'm going to be really honest. I haven't heard any of the albums here except for Bad Bunny's album. And I love Bad Bunny. And so I want him to win. So, spicy, but I just want him to win. Best Latin Rock or Alternative Album. You have Aura by Bajo Fondo. You have Monstruo by Cami. Sobrevolando by Cultura Profética. La Conquista del Espacio by Fito Paez. And Miss Colombia by Lido Pimienta. Lido Pimienta. I hope I said that right. I haven't heard any of these, so I'm not even going to try to guess who's going to win this category. But I wish them all the best. Best Regional Mexican Album. I'm not going to say because I really don't know. Best Tropical Latin Album. I don't really recognize any of those names, so I'm not going to guess. American Roots Album. American Roots Album. Colors by Black Pumas. Deep in Love by Bonnie Light Horseman. Short and Sweet by Brittany Howard. I'll Be Gone, Norah Jones and Mavis Staples. I Remember Everything by John Preen. I think this one, it's probably going to end up going to Norah Jones and Mavis Staples because the Academy loves Mavis Staples because she was a part of the Staples Singers, which have been in the industry for like damn near 60 years. So I think that they're going to get it. If they didn't get it, I wouldn't mind saying this go to Brittany Howard or Black Pumas. Best American Roots Song, Cabin by the Secret Sisters, Ceiling to the Floor by Sarah Hall, Hometown by Sarah Jarosz, I Remember Everything by John Prine, and Man Without a Soul by Lucinda Williams. Lucinda Williams is probably going to win this because she's a Grammy favorite. Best American Album, Best Americana Album. What the fuck does that mean? Like, seriously, what does Americana mean? Is that what we're saying instead of saying folk? Best Americana Album, again, it's Old Flowers by Courtney Marie Andrews, Terms of Surrender by His Golden Messenger, Word on the Ground, Sarah Jarosz, El Dorado by Marcus King, Good Souls, Better Angels by Lucinda Williams. Again, probably it's going to be Lucinda Williams, but it might be Sarah Jarosz. Who knows? Best Bluegrass Album, don't know any of those people, not even going to guess. Best Traditional Blues Album, don't know any of those people, not going to guess. Best Contemporary Blues Album, don't know any of those people, unfortunately. Best Folk Album, the only name here that I know is Leonard Cohen. So I hope it goes to the Secret Sisters. Best Regional Roots Musical Album. What does that mean, Best Regional Roots? I don't know what that means. So I'm not going to go there. Reggae, we have Upside Down 2020 by Buju Banton. We have Higher Place by Skip Marley. It All Comes Back to Love by Maxi Priest. Gotta Be Tough by Toots and the Maytals. And One World, The Wailers. I want Toots and the Maytals to win. Sorry, I really want Toots and the Maytals to win. Best Global Music Album. This is where BTS should have been nominated for Map of the Soul 7, guys. This is where they should have been at. For those of you who are wondering what the other category is, this is it right here. So, Best Global Music Album, according to the Grammys, is albums containing at least 41% playing time of new vocal or instrumental global music recordings. So, what they have here is Foo Chronicles by Antabalas, Twice as Tall by Burna Boy, Agora by Bebe Gilberto, Love Letters by Anushka Shankar, and Amadjar by Tenari Wen. I'm sure I'm saying all these names wrong. The only group here that I've really heard of, or person I've really heard of, is Burna Boy. So Burna Boy would be cool. I could also go with Bebe Gilberto, but BTS should have been here. BTS should have been here. Blackpink should have been here. This was their category to lose, and they weren't even fucking nominated. Best Children's Albums. I don't know any of these people, so I'm not even going to guess. Spoken Word. These are all recordings of people reading books. Best Spoken Word are all audiobooks. Every single one of them. This is so bizarre. So, Acid for the Children, a memoir by Flea. Alex Trebek, The Answer Is by Ken Jennings. Blowout, Corrupted Democracy, Rogue State, Russia, and the Richest, Most Destructive Industry on Earth by Rachel Maddow. Catch and Kill by Ronan Farrow. And Charlotte's Web, E.B. White, read by Meryl Streep in full cast. Because it's a childhood favorite, I'm kind of rooting for Charlotte's Web, but I think that people would cry if it was Ken Jennings who won just because Alex Trebek just died. But yeah, fucking audiobooks. Like, this is the Audible Award, basically. Okay. Best Comedy Albums, Black Mitzvah by Tiffany Haddish, I Love Everything by Patton Oswalt, The Pale Tourist by Jim Gaffigan, Paper Tiger by Bill Burr, and 23 Hours to Kill by Jerry Seinfeld. I'll be voting for either Bill Burr or Patton Oswalt, but I think we're probably going for Bill Burr on this one. Musical Theater, Best Musical Theater Album, Amelie by the original London cast, American Utopia on Broadway, Jagged Little Pill, original cast, all these original cast, Little Shop of Horrors, The Prince of Egypt, Soft Power. This is a hard one because I'm not a big musical person, but I know a little bit of music from several of these, like Prince of Egypt. There can be miracles when you believe. I'm sure that's not on there. Jagged Little Pill, because that was a great album by Alanis Morissette, so it's cool that it got turned into a musical. Little Shop of Horrors, because who doesn't love Little Shop of Horrors? Little Shop of Horrors. So it could be any one of those three, and I'd be cool with. The other ones, I don't know you. I'm so sorry, girl. We've never met. Interesting. Best compilation soundtrack for visual media. So basically, these are like movie soundtracks that have multiple artists for the movie. How about sneeze, guys? Gotta cover your mouth when you sneeze. Coronavirus. Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, various artists. That was the movie about Mr. Rogers. Bill and Ted Face the Music. Eurovision Song Contest, The Story of Fire Saga. Frozen 2 and Jojo Rabbit. Frozen 2 is going to win that one. Because Into the Unknown. Frozen 2 is going to win that one. Best score soundtrack for visual media. These are instrumental soundtracks. So Ad Astra, Becoming, Joker, 1917, and Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. I want Becoming to win only because Kamasi Washington was the composer, and he's a really good jazz artist, so it'd be really cool if he wins as a composer for an album score or for a movie score. Best song written for visual media. This is the category that people actually know the songs from. The nominations are Beautiful Ghost from the movie Cats, Taylor Swift. Carried Me With You from the movie Onward, Brandi Carlile. Into the Unknown from Frozen 2, Idina Menzel and Aurora. No Time to Die from No Time to Die, Billie Eilish. And Stand Up from Harriet, Cynthia Erivo. Cynthia Erivo is an amazing singer. I'm glad to see her nominated here. Into the Unknown is an amazing song. Glad to see Idina nominated here. I want Billie Eilish to win this one for No Time to Die. I have a personal soft spot for Bond movie soundtracks. I'm literally wearing a Bond shirt right now. I love the Bond movie songs. All of them. They're all great. Even the one for Sheena Easton, Your Eyes Only. I love Bond movie soundtrack songs. So I'm voting for No Time to Die, but I'm pretty sure Into the Unknown is going to win. Pretty sure. Composing, arranging. Don't know any of those. Best arrangement. Don't know any of those. Best arrangement, instrumentals and vocals. I know Michelle Ndegeocello, cello, but I don't know any of these other people. So, not even going to try. Best record packaging. Another area where K-pop should be nominated. This is another area where K-pop should be nominated because K-pop packaging is literally everything. Like, people don't collect K-pop albums just because they like the artist. We also collect them because we love the packaging. K-pop should run this category. So we have Everyday Life by Coldplay. Again, why Coldplay? Funeral by Lil Wayne. Healer by Group Love. On Circles by Caspian. And Volumes 11 and 12 by Desert Sessions. I don't have a dog in this fight. I just want Lil Wayne to lose. Okay, Best Boxed or Limited Special Edition Package. Flaming Pie, the Collector's Edition by Paul McCartney. Giant Stadium, 1987, 89, and 91 by The Grateful Dead. Mode by Depeche Mode. Ode to Joy by Wilco. And The Story of Ghostly Eternal by various artists. Don't have a dog in this fight, but I love Depeche Mode, so I hope they win. This is another one, Special Limited Edition Package. Again, BTS could have been nominated here for School Love Affair. That would have been a completely fair nomination unless it was like past the cutoff point. Also, I feel like you could definitely look at Blackpink and be like, maybe, but I don't think it was a special edition, so unfortunately. Sorry. Notes. Best album notes. How do you even win an award for your best album notes? I don't know. So I'm not even gonna guess on that one because the notes. Okay. Best historical album, couldn't tell you. Production, non-classical. So the nomination for best engineered non-classical album. Hard to tell how good an album is engineered. So this is one that I can't say that somebody was more deserving except for The Weeknd. After Hours was actually a really nicely engineered album. Black Hole Rainbow by Devin Gilfillian Expectations by Katie Pruitt, Hyperspace by Beck, Jamie by Brittany Howard, and 25 Trips by Sierra Hull. Maybe Brittany Howard will win that one. That'd be nice. And then Producer of the Year, Non-Classical. These are for people who produce a ton of projects under their name. So they're not being nominated for one project that they worked on. They're being nominated for like the bulk of the work that they did for the year. And FYI, Jack Antonoff is probably going to win this one, but we're still going to go through here anyway. So Jack Antonoff is nominated for working on Taylor Swift, the Dixie Chicks, now called the Chicks, FKA Twigs, Taylor Swift again, and then Sia. So he did August with Taylor Swift, Mirrorball, This Is Me Trying. He did Together with Sia, Holy Terrain with FKA Twigs featuring Future, and Gaslight by the Chicks. Dan Auerbach is being nominated for Cypress Grove by Jimmy Duck Holmes, Eldorado Marcus King. This is Thomas Calloway by CeeLo Green, Singing for My Supper, Early James, Solid Gold Sounds, Kendall Marvel, and Years by John Anderson. Dave Cobb. Sorry, I don't know why I said Cobb. Dave Cobb is being nominated for Backbone by Kaleo, The Balladeer, Laurie McKenna, Airborne's Bone Shaker, Oak Ridge Boys' Down Home Christmas, The Highwaywoman by The Highwaywoman, I Remember Everything, John Prine, Reunions by Jason Isbell and the 400 Unit, The Spark by William Prince, and You're Still the One by Teddy Swims. Flying Lotus is being nominated because they did the production for It Is What It Is by Thundercat, the entire album. That alone, I love you. Woo! Okay. Come through, competition. The last producer of the year is Andrew Watt. He's being nominated for Break My Heart by Dua Lipa, Me and My Guitar by A Boogie with a Hoodie, Midnight Sky by Miley Cyrus, Old Me by 5 Seconds of Summer, Ordinary Man, Ozzy Osbourne featuring Elton John, Take What You Want, Post Malone featuring Ozzy Osbourne and Travis Scott, and Under the Graveyard by Ozzy Osbourne. Listen, Jack Antonoff almost had this thing wrapped up, but Andrew Watt, you are coming through with some heat right here, my guy. Like, I'm into this. I'm really, really into this. I would like to see it either go to Andrew Watt or Flying Lotus. Flying Lotus would be my first choice, probably because I really, really like the whole Thundercat album, and I like the fact that they did the production for the entire album. But Break My Heart, Midnight Sky, those are some tunes. Those are some tunes. Let's see. Best remixed album recording. Do You Ever, RAC Mix, Feel Good, Imaginary Friends, Dead Mouse, Praying for You, Jasper Street Company, Roses, St. John, Young and Alive, Bozzy. I feel like Bozzy might have a chance, but it'll probably go to St. John. Production, Immersive Album. There were no nominees because of COVID. That's strange. You never hear that, but there were no nominees because of COVID. Production, in fact, the explanation they have here is you couldn't judge this because you couldn't have an immersive experience because you couldn't sit in a room with everybody. Bye, Sarah. Okay, production classical. Best engineered classical album. Have no idea because I don't listen to classical music. Producer of the year classical. I wouldn't know because I don't listen to classical music. Best orchestral, best opera recording, best choral, best chamber music, best classical instrumental, classical solo, classical compendium, contemporary classical, none of those. Finally, we're at a category that a lot of people feel like BTS should have been nominated for, but I have to ask you, if they were nominated for this category, what would the nomination track be? Best music video. Award to the artist, director, and producer. So the nominations are currently Brown Skin Girl by Beyonce, Life is Good, Future featuring Drake, Lockdown by Anderson .Paak, Adore You, Harry Styles, Goliath by Woodkid. If you felt like BTS deserved to be nominated for Best Music Video, which one of their music videos would it be? Now you have to remember that when it comes to music videos that traditionally win, most of the time narrative music videos do better than non-narrative music videos. So in terms of the music videos released in the year that all the nominations took place, which one from an artistic standpoint do you believe should have been nominated here? Should it have been Black Swan, the dance performance video? Should it have been on the dance performance? Should it have been on the narrative version? Which one? Like, this is one of those things that happens in, like, this happens to Disney a lot when it comes to being nominated for Song of the Year at the Oscars. Sometimes you can overload a category so much that you can, like, end up crossing yourself out of that category. So yeah, for those of you watching, which song that they did a video for would be the song that would belong in this category? It wouldn't be Life is Good because the nominations, I think there's a cutoff date and it missed that. But on Black Swan, Dynamite, which one? So I'm not saying that they shouldn't be nominated, but I just really don't know which of those videos belongs in this category. So I'm asking you a legitimate question. So Lixbrick says, I feel Black Swan would have been perfect for it. I could see that. I could see that. Performance version of Black Swan. So I've got 2 votes for Black Swan. So I guess that's what we're saying here. I just want to be sure because I'm like, I don't know which one the fans are thinking is the video that should have been nominated. Because, I mean, against the ones that I just named, especially against like Brown Skin Girl and Adore You and Life is Good, these are very narrative heavy videos. I don't know that Dynamite could win against those. So that's why I bring up the question. Best music film. Films made about movies. Films made about music. This is the last category, guys. We're almost done here. We have Beastie Boys Story by the Beastie Boys, Black is King by Beyonce, We Are Freestyle Love Supreme by Freestyle Love Supreme, Linda Ronstadt, The Sound of My Voice by Linda Ronstadt, and that little old band from Texas, ZZ Top. Now, I say this as somebody who spent a lot of time living in Texas. I very much would love to see ZZ Top win because they're Texas legends. I would love to see Beyonce win this just because Black is King is such a beautiful musical statement. Like, just the visuals they're cinematic. It's gorgeous. But I really feel in my heart, it's probably going to be Linda Ronstadt, The Sound of My Voice. And this is the last category, so I'm going to spend a little bit of time telling you why I believe that. Linda Ronstadt was a huge singer in the 70s and 80s, like really a huge, huge singer. And something happened, I'm not exactly sure what it is, but she stopped singing because she could no longer sing. Like, her voice, it wouldn't do it anymore. And a lot of people have been curious about what happened to her voice, why she can't sing anymore, what does it sound like now. Like, there's a lot of, I don't want to say lure, but there is a lot of like mystery surrounding her disappearance from the music industry. So I could see a lot of people nominating Linda Ronstadt, The Sound of My Voice, just because like it has been such a thing that people have talked about for so many years. I can also see people nominating the Beastie Boys and wanting them to win just because the Beastie Boys were a really important rap group in like the 80s, early 90s, and they lost a member. So a lot of this is kind of in memoriam stuff. But yeah, if I had my druthers, I'd love to see either ZZ Top or Beyonce win because, go Texas. It's your birthday. But that is all the nominations for the Grammys. We went through the entire list. There's always a ton of people that deserve to be nominated that never get nominated. That's just the way it is. For those of you who don't know, people don't get nominated for the Grammys because they sold the most albums that year. You don't get nominated for the Grammys because you had the most #1 hits. You don't get nominated for the Grammys because you have the most Twitter likes or your hashtag was the biggest. You get nominated for Grammys because someone campaigns for you. And it's a ton of things that happen. It's people sending their CD to you and putting on the envelope for your consideration. It is people sending gift baskets and inviting you to go to special showings and all this stuff in order to get you to want to put their name on the ballot. And so when people say, I don't understand why my other K-pop faves didn't get nominated, I don't understand why they're not considered. Personally, if I saw Crushes from Midnight to Sunrise nominated for a Grammy, I would be completely mouth agape because I'd be like, how do they even know about this album? Yeah, I know about it, but like Grammys in general, how would you know about this album? So if Crush isn't actively campaigning to get people to vote for him for World Album, I don't expect to see him there. And I feel like with BTS, there was some campaigning, but probably Big Hit and the American label didn't spend a lot of money or time trying to campaign because they felt like public pressure and audience pressure would get voters to want to vote for BTS. And I would love to say that America is as rosy and accepting as all that, but that's not the case. The Grammy voters are old people. Like, I think that they said, like, once you're nominated for a Grammy, you get to vote for the Grammys for the rest of your life. And that's everyone who's nominated for a Grammy. That's for Best Producer. That's for Best Engineering. Anyone who has been nominated for a Grammy ever for the rest of their lives, you get to vote for Grammys. I think they changed it fairly recently. I think the cutoff is now like 20 years, maybe, something like that. Like 20 years from your last nomination, basically. But if old people are voting and they like their fave, you could technically be on the nominations for the rest of your life, because you could do like really well in your 20s, have a career resurgence in your 40s, and then put out like a greatest hits album in your 60s and be nominated. And yeah, for the rest of your life, you could end up being a Grammy voter. So you've got people who are voting for the Grammys who are in their 80s, people in their 60s, people in their 50s, 40s. And a lot of those people, yeah, BTS may be the biggest thing in our world. It may be like the most talked about or whatever, but for them, they're not on Twitter. They're on fucking Facebook. If they're on the internet like that, honestly. And they don't see a BTS in that way. They don't listen to K-pop in that way. They don't check out YouTube and see which group has had the most trending videos this year. They're not diving into analytics. They're barely looking at Billboard. Barely looking at Billboard. So that's the reason why your faves don't get in. And for The Weeknd to not make it, number one, obviously these people are not listening to the radio at all. They're not listening to the radio, they're not listening to TikTok, because they should have heard The Weeknd. Like, it just makes sense. But also, The Weeknd very much markets himself as an R&B act. And a lot of his work, even though it is mainstream to all of us, it is seen by a lot of people as being super controversial. So if the Grammy voters think that he's too over the top showing up to award shows with black eyes and bloody bandages, then they might not decide to vote for him. And it sucks that people who don't have near the credentials or near the visibility of somebody like The Weeknd is going to be nominated for multiple Grammys while he's not going to be nominated for a single one. It is all about politics. It is all about campaigning. It is all about getting into these old people's sites and making them see your value. And it sucks that it works out like that, because it's not fair. It's plain and patently not fair that you have to be judged on the merits of your marketing campaign and what people think about you as a person in order to be nominated for a Grammy. And in other ways, that's decent. I don't want R. Kelly to win life. I don't want to be nominated for the rest of his life. So who you are? Yeah, we need to go ahead and stick with that one. But I mean, basically, the only real scandals around him are the fact that he likes them young in terms of dating, and
He does?
yeah, like he dated that one girl, the one of the sisters.
Bella Hadid?
Yeah,
How old is she?
I think she was like 19 when they started dating.
And how old was he?
At least 20s.
Was he? Hold on. I'm gonna search.
He's gonna look up the numbers, but
oh, so he's 30 and she's 24.
Yeah.
So that means so that was 5 years ago. So he was 25.
Stephanie's doing deep math. But yeah, he likes him young, and he tends to have lyrics that are centering around drug use, sex, depression.
But he had a whole song on American Dad called I'm a Virgin.
I don't think that the voters heard that one. I'm not saying. I just think the voters didn't hear that one. But he's got this history of singing about drugs, sex, depression. He's got this history of dating girls that are a fair bit younger than him. And I think that the Grammy voters were like, I don't know if we got to give this kind of guy kind of praise. But like in terms of, has he had scandals with, doing bad things to people? Has he had scandals of committing crimes, things like that? No, he hasn't. It's a prejudgment based on what they perceive him to be, rather than actually based on the merits of the music he's putting out there. And that fucking sucks. And so it is fuck the Grammys all day, every day. Like, I knew the Grammys was raw back when Bob Dylan won Grammy of the Year for an album that like nobody but old heads had heard of. I knew the Grammys was raw when they didn't give Beyonce anything the year that her and Adele were up for everything. I don't think Beyonce won a single award that night. She might have won one, but I don't think she won. I knew the Grammys wasn't shit when they locked Ariana Grande out. The Grammys have been shown their ass. They have been shown their ass. So am I surprised? No. I almost feel like it's better to not be nominated than to be nominated for every fucking thing and lose every fucking thing. Because that's what happened to Ariana Grande, if you recall. She was nominated for like a whole bunch of stuff and did not win a single thing. And it wasn't fair because she deserved. So, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I still kind of am upset about the fact that Noah Cyrus was nominated for a Grammy this year, but Miley wasn't nominated for rock performance for Midnight Sky. Am I wrong for thinking that don't add up? That don't seem right? Also, again, talking about people that are eligible for Best New Artist. Even if people are talking a lot about Noah Cyrus this year, didn't she release a song like 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Back when she was dating that one white kid with all the markings on his face?
Lil Xan.
Yeah!
Is that his name, Lil Xan?
I don't know. Little dummy. Anyway.
Wait.
Back when she was dating that guy, she had like, 2 or 3 singles that came out?
Yeah.
Had radio play? But then they're turning around and saying new artist?
Did
That
she
don't seem
release
right.
new music?
Apparently she released enough new music this year for her to be nominated for Best New Artist.
Again, who did she pay off
It's the
to get
campaigning.
the nomination?
It's the campaigning. It's the
Did
campaigning.
she get campaigning?
Yeah, that's everybody does it. Everybody
I
does
ain't
it.
seen no Noah Cyrus stands ever in my life.
That's because most people gravitate towards like icons to stand. I don't necessarily see the iconic nature of Noah Cyrus, but I don't know her like that either.
Yeah, so it's like, how are you getting Grammy nominated?
I don't know.
When I ain't heard nothing about you.
It don't seem right to me either, child.
She hasn't trended not once.
I mean, she hasn't trended with us, but we also have to remember that our Twitter is curated.
No, I look at the trending page sometimes for like national. Not once did I see Noah.
Yeah, I don't see it for her either, but it's I don't know. I don't get it. But anyway, so now that we've talked about who's nominated for what, made our best guesses. Yeah, well, we talked about that during Best New Artist. Rina Sawayama didn't get nominated for anything. She didn't get nominated for any of the pop categories. She didn't get nominated for Best New Artist. But this could be a good thing. Follow my logic here. It could be a good thing that she didn't get nominated because maybe, since the Grammys tends to have amnesia, if she has her next project blow the fuck up, then they'll have to nominate her for Best New Artist because she's never been nominated for anything before, right? Like, is that logic? Maybe. I mean, I hope. That would be my hope, is that that's the silver lining of the absolute shit sandwich she's been served this year. Rina Sawayama has been done so fucking dirty this year. So she didn't get nominated for British awards because she wasn't considered British enough. But she didn't get nominated for any American awards either. Where is Homegirl supposed to go to get her nominations? Where is she supposed to go? Whatever. But yeah, let's just hope that this year didn't work out and she's going to do a monster project either next year or the year after. It's going to blow the fuck up. She's going to perform it everywhere and people are going to dig it. Because one of the other things about Rina is that she didn't really get to perform the songs very much this last year. I want to say her first late night show performance for the album has been within the last month. I think that's the truth, which is crazy because the album's been out for a hot minute. But she didn't get a chance to promote. I mean, COVID's big. But also, like, another thing about artists, again, besides just the campaigning that you send directly to people who can vote for the Grammys, when you're in front of people all the time, doing performances all the time, being all over the place, people tend to remember you around Grammy time. And with her not being able to promote because she's a smaller artist, probably doesn't have the same huge promotional budget that other people have, then it makes it to where she's at a disadvantage of getting her face and her music in front of people. Like Chloe and Halle, it's really amazing that they got all these nominations, but we have to give a huge shout out to Parkwood and the work that they have done on promoting these girls. These girls have been at every virtual awards show / festival they could get their hands on. These girls don't sleep. I saw them on a TikTok festival. I've seen them at every award show that anybody would let them do. And every time I saw them, they came with brand new costumes, ready to hit a mark, ready to hit a 1-2. Vocals out of control, body out of control. And that's because their promotional team made sure they were constantly in front of people's faces with these songs, with this album. And it's paid off in nominations. And a lot of times, if you're not out there promoting all the time, people don't see you and you're not going to get those nominations as well. I can't speak for The Weeknd in terms of his promotion because, again, I still see that as like an absolute snub, a purposeful snub. But yeah, Rina didn't get a chance to promote the way that she should have been because she couldn't afford it. Like, if we were in non-COVID times, I am certain she could have moved around a lot more. But with COVID, it's become more expensive to travel. It's become harder to have access to travel because you got to quarantine everywhere you go and then quarantine again when you get back home. Like, it's fucked a lot of shit up for a lot of people. So, I mean, it's unfortunate that it's really taking its toll out on her career. And then let's talk about Blackpink real quickly. A lot of us feel like Blackpink should have been nominated for something, right? Because YG has a ton of money and Blackpink did do some performances here and there, but tell me if you feel this way. Maybe I'm the only one. I feel like YG puts a lot of money in a short burst and then he washes his hands of it. He's like, okay, I gave you a solid 3 weeks. It's done now. Now, I get that in Korea, that's how you promote. Like, in Korea, like, you might promote the song, the pre-release song, and then the release song, and you might get 2-3 weeks of music shows talking about it, doing performances, and then the album run is over. And the rest of it is just like, what concerts and festivals can we book? We'll be performing at those. it doesn't work like that in the West. Like, if you look at BTS and all the Dynamite performances they're doing, they've been promoting Dynamite for what feels to be over a month. It didn't just disappear like right before the song came out and then like 2 weeks afterward and like, okay, we did it, we promoted. No, same thing with On, same thing with Black Swan, especially On. They promoted On, I want to say for like 2 months, because the company that's handling them in the US seems to understand this is the way albums are marketed here. They're not marketed the way you're used to doing them over there. It's not about trying to hit that first week and then not caring about the successive weeks. You want to care about the successive weeks because that shows to everybody else that you have sticking power. And I think that's the reason why you see different results. So if I could talk to YG, if I could have a powwow with you, if I could give you a little advice, a little kind of moving forward, if you will, I think that if you're going to continue to have any kind of working relationship with Scooter Braun, you ought to get him to put you in contact with some marketing folks that can really roll out your U.S. promotions the right way. I think that you need to quit preloading so much stuff, and then after the album comes out, radio silence. Because, like, think about how much music we got out before the album came out. We got How You Like That. That was a great song that probably should have been the title track, in my opinion. I don't think that Lovesick Girl should have been the title track. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. I liked How You Like That better than Lovesick Girls. After How You Like That kind of had been out for a while, then we had Ice Cream, and Ice Cream was out for a hot minute, and then Lovesick Girls. That's a really weird way to promote an album when you're not in Korea. Like, that's the kind of rollout that he used to do for 2NE1. Like, do y'all remember all of the singles that he did for 2NE1 before he finally released the album for Crush? Like, they did I Love You, Falling in Love, and Do You Love Me. All those came out, and everybody's like, where's the album, sis? Then when the album got ready to come out, they did the video for oh my gosh, I can't even think of the lead single, Come Back Home. And then they released another video that had been filmed way before for Happy around the same time. And then because the album just wouldn't fucking die, they finally did the song It's Gotta Be You. Gotta Be You. I'm sorry. Sometimes I have to really think about the titles because it's been a minute. And yeah, spread it out, YG. Don't get so much pre-release stuff and then have that one like big single. Like, spread it out. Spread it out. That's what we do in the West. Spread it out. But anyway, I've been talking to y'all now for an hour and a half. Before I go, because I don't know if I'll see you guys again before American Thanksgiving. I hope you guys are staying safe. If you live in the United States, COVID is kicking everybody's ass. The numbers are spiking up every single day. No one is safe. So try your hardest. Wash your hands every day when you walk in the door. Wash your hands every day when you walk into your job. Wash your hand continuously throughout the day. Limit your bubble. Be very strict about your bubble. And even within your bubble, social distance. And just remember indigenous populations on Thanksgiving, because there's this fantasy that people learn in grade school here in America about how the Pilgrims were just so grateful to have Americans here and were so helpful and saved the poor white people from starving to death that first winter here in the United States. But that myth of, the helpful Indian is exactly that. It's a myth. And it's not because indigenous people weren't helpful. It's because it's been framed as if there had always been this positive relationship, when that is absolutely not the case. It's been trickery. It's been the spread of illness. It's been the degradation of a people. And we can't ever forget that. We can't ever forget the Holocaust that occurred in America when the Pilgrims and other non-native populations set foot in America, and all the people that they slaughtered. And it was through multiple means. It was through the spread of disease, because they introduced diseases into America that had never been seen before, so no one had immunities for them. So tons of people died just strictly from the disease. But then there was also the Trail of Tears, and there was being subjected to life at the reservation. It was kidnapping their children to get their children assimilated. It was killing off the buffalo that the people ate as their sustenance. It was so many ways that native populations were attacked in a place that was their home. And so while you're eating your turkey and you're feeling good and you're thinking about the bounty of the resources, think about the bounty that was snatched from native populations here in the US, and how even to this day they're dealing with so much. They're dealing with their natural environments and spaces being invaded by resource looters. They're having to deal with a lack of resource and resource diversion for them, like really rerouting water supplies and other things to areas where Native people live. They're dealing with having issues with policing and a lot of disappearances and violence to Native women, Indigenous women. It's a big deal. And like, just again, the scourge of alcohol, drug abuse. When you live in a poor poverty-stricken area, and there are no jobs, and there's not as much access to things, people tend to fall into drug abuse, alcohol abuse, because there's nothing to do. So just pray for them, and pray that, someday, justice will be seen. It probably will never be seen, but we have to continue to walk closer and closer to justice. That's all we can do, is walk closer and closer to justice. So just keep them in the back of your mind. Keep them in your thoughts. If you're not a praying person, keep them in your thoughts. Never forget, Thanksgiving is a myth, and the truth is horrifying and needs to be acknowledged. So thank you so much. Bye.